trees are growing, and he says they should be consecrated until they're cut down. That's the way he consecrated it, until they're cut down. So Bar Poda, is one of the Amoraim, explains the Mishnah to mean that it's until they're cut down, even if you should redeem it, you should redeem the tree, what we call pigeon, the moment you redeems it, it's reconsecrated immediately. Why? Because he says it should remain consecrated until it's cut, until it's chopped down. So let's say he redeems it. So because of the original statement, the consecration happens over again. Now, when he finally cuts the tree down, he said it should be consecrated until it's cut down. So let's say I sell you something, and I say it should be yours for 30 days, right? What happens at day 31? It's no longer yours, because I only transferred it to 30 days to you, correct? But Rabbi Poda says, in regard to consecration, even though he said it should only be consecrated until it's chopped down, once Kedusha comes upon something, it doesn't go off by itself. It means after it's chopped down, then you have to redeem it, and once it's redeemed, now it's chulin, now it's ordinary. Because there's a principle, it's called Kedush L'Poka B'Chdi. When it comes to consecration, once it attaches itself, it cannot be released unless you do pidyon, unless you do redemption. That is Bar Poda. Ula disagrees. He says no. He said it should be consecrated until it's chopped down, so it's true. If you redeem it before it's cut down, it's reconsecrated. This is the way the Rashba learns the Gemara. However, but let's say he chops it down, the timber doesn't have to be redeemed, because he said, to what extent was the Kedusha? Only till it's chopped down. Once it's chopped down, he wasn't magdish beyond that point. It's like, I sell you something for 30 days. Do you have to transfer it back to me after 30 days? Initially, I only gave it to you for 30 days. What happens when day 31 comes? Immediately reverts back to me, the same thing. The Kedusha is only on the object, only as long as I put it on the object. I don't want it to be in the domain of Hegdish beyond a certain point. So if it's chopped down, I said, beyond that point, not. That's the argument of Bar Poda and Ula. Bar Poda says, Kedusha, once it attaches itself, you cannot, it doesn't detach. Even if you put a time limit to it, attaches, it remains. Ula says no. Just as regarding a monetary situation, it's only to the degree that you transferred it, not beyond that. The same thing in regard to Kedusha. That's the argument. That's on Chav Chesed Beis. Now, no. The lumber, no, the timber. He chops the tree down. That tree now, as a piece of wood, does it have Kedusha? Bar Poda says it has Kedusha. If you benefit from it, it's Torah violation. You have to redeem it. According to Ulysses, there's no reason to redeem it. Of course, he said up to a point, not beyond that point. Once it's chopped down, I said it should not have any Kedusha. He put a time limit on the Kedusha. That's the argument, okay? So now, we can start the Gemara Chav test. We did it yesterday, but we didn't do it around. Amalei Rav Amnuna. So Rav Amnuna asks Ula, Kedusha sheben lehechen hocha? If he consecrated it for a certain period of time, why when it's chopped down, why does the Kedusha automatically dissipate? What happened to it? He gets 29a. He says, a man marries a woman. 29a on the very top. He says, today you're my wife, tomorrow you're not my wife. He only married her for one day. What's the halacha? What is she tomorrow? She's still his wife. Because once she becomes married, how do you revoke a marriage? She needs a get. Yeah. But he put a limit on it. He says, I only want you to be my wife today. What's the answer? Once the Kedushin takes place, you can't dictate a period of time. So the same thing with Hegdish. Once you consecrate it, it goes, and you have to revoke it. How do you remove it? That's pigeon. You have to redeem it. That's Rav Amnuna's question to Ula. What do you mean once it's chopped down, it's no longer Kodesh because he only consecrated for that period of time? How does the Kedusha remove itself? Why is it different than marrying a woman? Today you're my wife, tomorrow you're not my wife. Phenomenal question. You got it?
Yes.
So on that he answers, he says, Afkalo get? Is there even consideration that she's free to remarry without a get? She needs a get. Omale Rovas, so Rovas responds to answer the question on Ula. Miko Medamis, he says, it's not comparable. When a person consecrates a tree, what's the level of consecration? It's monetary value. The value of the tree should be used to buy a korban. Okay? Well, let's say I consecrated an animal to be brought as a korban. That's not for its monetary value. That's its essence is holy. When you marry a woman, her essence is married. So that would be like consecrating an animal. It's true, he's saying. If you would consecrate an animal to be a korban, let's say I want an animal to be older for 30 days. He says, I agree. After 30 days, you cannot remove that, even though you put a time limit on it, because that's called kedushas aguf. Its essence is holy. It's not a means, but it's the end itself. When I consecrate a tree, what's the value of the tree? Its value to be redeemed and use the money to purchase a korban. So it's a different level of kedusha. So if its value is not itself, it's only as a means, then you can put a time limit on it. And that's what Ula is saying. In the case of Mishnah, consecrates a tree, the kedusha should be on the tree. How to what point? Till it's chopped down. But when you marry a woman, or I consecrate an animal to be a korban, then you can't put a time limit. Okay, that's what Rav answers. Mikom Adam is kedushas domim, kedushas aguf. Kedushas domim. The case of the Mishnah about a tree, that's called kedushas domim. It's the sanctity. It's consecrated for its value, for its monetary value. Polkabirti. That it's what? It can be revoked at the point that he said it should be only to a certain point. Kedusha guf, lo polkabirti. But a kedusha guf such as marrying a woman. She's married. Once she's married, the only thing that could terminate that status, she needs a get. So if you consecrate an animal, even for 30 days, ola shlomim, once it is, it's forever. Unless it gets a mum, then you what? Then you redeem it. Amalei Abaye. So Abaye says to Rava. Amalei Abaye. You mean to say, you make the differentiation whether its essence is consecrated or it's only a means for its value. Is there such a difference? Tanya, listen to this. We learned in the Brisa. Shor ze olo, kol amid yom. Person says, this animal should be consecrated as an ola for 30 days. So what's an ola? Ola is a korban. That's tusha guf. Ul'achal amid yom shlomim. And after 30 days, it should become a shlom. It's a different type of korban. An ola is a burnt sacrifice. A shlomim you partake of. So it says, the person says the first 30 days it should be ola. That subsequently, after 30 days of your shlomim, it says in the Brisa, kol lamed yom ola. The first 30 days it's ola, burnt offering. Lachal lamed yom shlomim. So what do you see clearly? So even by kedushas aguf, we say that if you set a limit, it's what? It's only to that point. It doesn't make a difference. It's true. It's a kol shkein. It's a kol shkein. Here we have a more extensive offering. If you set a time limit, it's revoked after that period, even to take on a lesser kedusha. So over here, why should it be different? Right? V'amai kedusha aguf ninu. That's Abai's question to Rava. How could you make a differentiation kedushas domim and kedusha aguf? Here I have a brisa that what? Even by kedusha aguf, we see kedusha polkabirdi. That by setting the limit, when that time comes, it's off, it's revoked. Upolkabirdi. That's Abai's question to Rava. So Rava answers. Hochem askinon. No, when it says he consecrated the ox to be an ola, only to be used for its value, not that it should be the korban. Okay? So therefore, he's consistent. It's not a refutation on Rava. There's a difference in kedushas dam, kedusha. If you consecrate the animal to be an ola, then it cannot be revoked. But here, when it says ola 30 days, it means l'demei ola. Okay? So yes, so Abai hochi im sefer. Let's read the sefer of the Brisa. La'achad lamed yom ola. If he would say, I want it to be an ola in 30 days, ume'achshav shlomim, and it should be a shlomim from today. So what do? He first put the kedusha on for after 30 days, and then so after 30, it's not a problem. So before 30 days comes, what happens? Right? It's chulin. Right. So therefore, the first 30 days is unoccupied. So it's ma'achshav shloshim yom. What's the halacha? It is effective. So he says like this. 1 second, Aleph. Yeah. Where he switches it around. Ma'achshav shlomi. Yeah, ma'achshav shlomi. He says, if you say the Reish, as we said, is speak about Kedushas Domim, and therefore what is the order? The order could be Ola and then Shlomim. Not a problem. Why? Because it's Kedushas Domim. But if it's right, so what's the conclusion? But if I'm dealing with Kedusha Guf, which Kedusha has to be put on first? First, after 30 days.
Right.
Because if you put on now, you can't revoke it.
Right.
So that means now means even beyond 30 days it's Kodesh. So that means you can't consecrate it after 30 days. Let's say I sell you something for 30 days, and when you sell something 30 days, it's yours forever. After I sell, even though I said 30 days, could I sell to a third party after 30 days? If I sold it for 30 days, and 30 days means forever, that means I no longer have control after 30 days because I sold it to you. I can't sell to a third party. So if Kedusha Guf, once it attached up, can't be revoked. So if I say it should be an Ola for 30 days,
Right.
that means you can't make it a Shlom after 30 days.
Right.
Why? Because it's already locked into Ola.
Right.
But let's say I said it should be a Shlom after 30 days.
Good.
So that means the first 30 days, it's not yet consecrated.
Right.
So therefore, that I could consecrate it as an Ola. So what happens after 30? The Ola can only go for 30 days. You know why? Because after 30 days is already occupied as a Shlomim. You got it? So it says, if you tell me the Rashis Kudushas Dom is Sevis Kudushas Aguf, that's exactly why you have to invert it. Right? So this supports Rava. Right? Iyam Rishlom Echad Kudushas Aguf, Echad Kudushas Domim, Hainu, Ditzuk Leiletano, Limisni, Tarti. Therefore, the Tan has to give you two cases. The first case is Ola, then Shlomim. Second case is what? Shlomim after 30 days, Ola now. The Soka Daita Chamino, because I would have thought, Kedusha Guf lo Poke Birdi, Kedusha Domim Poke Birdi. I would say maybe Kedusha Domim you could revoke, but Kedusha Aguf you cannot revoke, even though we put the one afterwards first. Lochetoni Tarti. Right? Therefore, you need both cases. Therefore, you need Kedusha Guf and Kedusha Domim. Now we have to see this over here, because you have to understand what it means. So seemingly he's asking this question on what? On Rava. He's asked a question over it. It's not a question on Rava. Let's see the run. You have to do the run. We're going to start over here. The wide lines. V'chi kedusha sheben loichich and holcha. And the wide lines about 6 lines down. A little bit before he says. 1 second. One second. Yeah, 1 second. Okay. Right? That was the question. Rav Amnuna asked Ula, why after 30 days is it revoked? When it's cut down, is it revoked? How did Kedusha have it? Was it removed? Rav Amnuna's opinion, once Kedusha attaches itself, it doesn't leave it. There was a question, how do we learn the Mishnah? When he says the trees should be Kedusha, doesn't mean consecration, doesn't mean neder. Doesn't mean neder. But according to the other interpretation, that it means it's a neder. And it's going like Rameid Yeshmila B'konomos, right? The Pirishna, the Konomos asking, how is it, if I make a neder, I say, the table should be off limits to me for a month. Is there a consideration that after a month it's not permitted to me? I said the neder. So that's the question. If the Mishnah, when it says the tree should be konam, a korban, it means neder.
Right.
So what's even the consideration? What's the most discussion? So what happens after 30 days? What do you mean what happens after 30 days? The neder is a 30-day neder.
Right.
And what do we find that even according to our mayor, that a neder has certain consequences similar to hegdish? Person says to his wife, you're off limits to me until Pesach if you go to your father's house. Right? That's what he says to his wife. So what happens when Pesach comes? She could go to her father's house, okay? So we see even if the neder takes effect, until when is it? Lacha Pesach. Poki Surah Mele. Kachik Shur Rabbeinu Yonah Zal. Rabbeinu Yonah asked this question on the other interpretation. Tiritz. Tahani Mili Bekonim Proti. Kihosam. Shenachala Lalishto. Where it's only a neder which doesn't resemble hegdish, whenever you consecrate something. That's universal. When I make a neder for you should not go, that's something which is specific to the person. When it's a specific person, we explained before, then what? That's not, there's no liability. and like you benefited from Hegdish. Kolish Isurei, therefore it's weaker. Kolish means weaker. Upokale, therefore it's revoked. Aval konim kloli, but it's a netter which is all encompassing. Ki haidem asnisen tirsalolu osa luhu akuli alma. The trees are off limits to everybody. Ki hechad olam de olim. The toughest pidyonim keg, according to a mayor, that it's because it's so intensified you could redeem it. Okay? Could Omer Abmeil come break how I did really the Chamiri lo pokabichti. Just as if when it's a universal netter, it has relevance to redemption. Identically, when you have a universal neder, we say the kedusha does not come off until you redeem it. Omeli Abaye. So Abaye says to Rava, kedusha gufo. Right, Rava wanted to differentiate between whether you consecrate something only for its value, or you consecrate it itself should be an object of kedusha, like a korban. He says, maybe you want to say, Rav Amnuna says, if a man says you're married to me today and you're not married to me tomorrow, the verse says everybody agrees you need a get. So Rava answered, there's a difference between kedusha's domim, where you consecrate something for its value, or a korban. Marrying a woman, her essence is married, and therefore that's similar to the korban. So how do you terminate the relationship? She needs a get, okay? So it seems to be Abaye says to Rava, you mean to say kedusha guf? Can't put a limit on it. So he says, so what Abaye holds, maybe you marry a woman, you could say you're married to me today, and tomorrow you're not married to me. You don't need a get. Is Abaye actually saying that? Even though that may be true by a korban, you say it should be an ola today, not be an ola tomorrow. It works. Regarding a wife, it's not. I mean, anything which is not yours forever, that's called kinyan peiros. I mean, you have a right. You don't know the essence of it. You know what marriage is? Marriage is not you have rights in your wife. She's married. So if you tell me today, then it's not a marriage. So if you wanted her to be your wife, wife means forever. Even though you said the word today, there's no such thing as a wife. You say, you have right to have all rights in my field for 6 years. What, do you own the field? You don't own the field. Why? Because factually, that's called you have rights in the field. If I say the field is yours forever, forever means from now and forever, every aspect of this field is yours. But if I say it's only yours for 6 years, for 100 years, since the field exists beyond the 100, so what does that mean? You have rights in the field. Because what happens after 100 years? When you marry a woman, what are you saying? You're saying to the woman, you're my wife for today. There's no such thing as a wife for today. A wife means total, for now and forever. Therefore, the only way you could actually remove it, you have to terminate the relationship. How's that? That's the get. Yep. He says phenomenal. What's the difference between kedushas haguf and kedushas domim? By hegdish there is such a thing as kedushas domim. Right? If I say the animal should be used to what? To purchase. For 30 days should be used to purchase an ola. That's kedushas domim. So once I find that consecration, you're able to put a limitation. You could put a limitation even if kedushas haguf. But by a woman, there's only one type of marriage. It's forever. So if that's the case, we don't find there's any other level of effect other than forever. So if you say it should be for a day, there's no such thing as a marriage for a day. Therefore, the only way it could be terminated is with a get. That's how he's differentiating. There's no such thing as you have a right in your wife. Because she's your wife, therefore the responsibilities or the obligations between the two parties. But what you have, what is it? Like you purchase a piece of property, you purchase a wife. Wife is not an acquisition. A wife is a state of being. She's your wife. What does a wife mean? A wife doesn't mean when I marry, I have rights. I'm acquiring rights. You're not acquiring rights in a wife. You marry a woman, she's your wife. As a wife, the conjugal responsibility. She has obligations to you. That's a consequence.
Mm-hmm.
When you purchase a piece of property, you're purchasing the rights in the property. That's the difference. You following?
The question was when you purchase, so I want to purchase, and they use purchase and purchase.
You could use the same. It says, Isha Nikdas Bishloshim Dropim.
Right.
When you acquire a woman, but it's a different meaning. It doesn't mean you acquire like an object. You marry a woman, you're not acquiring an object.
So it's just the kesef,
It means it creates a status.
Right.
When you purchase, if I buy property, I can buy property on many levels. You have rights in this, you have rights in that, you have different types of rights.
Yeah.
When you marry a woman, there are no levels of what you acquire.
Right.
She's your wife. As a wife, wife means these are the obligations of one spouse to another.
Uh-huh.
Understand? So it's either all or nothing.
Right.
A property, you have kinyan peiros.
Yes.
And a wife, there's no, you have no,
Right.
you acquire, you're not acquiring rights in the woman.
Right.
See, it's very good because there's a question which is asked. How do we know that a woman can be married with kinyan kesef?
Right.
Because we learn, it says kiikach.
Kikicha.
It says kiikach when you marry a woman. It says you kiikach, and it says by Avram Avinu when he purchased the Mars Machpelah, it says kach mimeni. He says take the money, kach mimeni. So purchasing. So we say so just as kichov they mean money here, it also means money. So the Rashba asks, so why can't you acquire a woman with chazaka? If you go and you demonstrate ownership in a piece of property, your property is yours, right? Any level of ownership. So if a person demonstrates ownership in a wife, let's say he'll pick her up, or she'll
Right.
do a certain service that a wife normally does for her husband.
Okay.
You should be able to acquire her. So the Rashba answers, marrying a woman, chazok is you acquiring the object. That's a kinyan, an object.
Right.
Here, we wonder what the word kicha means. We're not saying that a wife is an object. Just as kicha there means kesef, kicha means kesef. But it means you're not acquiring the wife. So if you're not acquiring the wife, so chazaka, the meaning chazaka means it's an act of acquisition in the object. A woman's not an object.
Right.
So therefore it has no relevance.
Right.
See, therefore kicha cannot mean chazaka. You're following?
Right.
One is a means of bringing something about. The other is demonstration of ownership. You don't demonstrate ownership over a wife because you don't own your wife.
So you're bringing something about with the kesef.
Right. Kesef has a consequence. Chazaka means through demonstrating ownership it has a consequence. There's no demonstration of ownership on a wife. Therefore it has no relevance. So it's very good. By Kegdish, you find there many levels of what you could consecrate something. So since I find there's such a thing as kinyan peiros, meaning I'm consecrating for its value, and you could put a time limitation on that, so you could consecrate an animal even for a mizbeach and put a time limitation on it. Because within Hegdish, you find you could put limitation. That's how he's explaining it. The kinyan don't be lo ashkan. There's no such thing as a wife only for a period of time. The Goras Hosam Rebavo B'Shem Reb Yochanan Hariz Ola Shloshim Yom. Person says an Ola should be 30 days. Kol Shloshim Yom Hariz Ola Lacha Shloshim Yom Yotzel Chulin Me'ileho Harei Abu Gudeshes Shloshim Yom Hareizum Gudeshes. But it says a man marries a woman for 30 days, she's married, and after 30 days she's still married. So the Yerushalmi is ma being Hegdish, ma being Isha. So what's the difference between Hegdish and a woman? Isha hainu Hegdish yotzib lo pinyin lo matzili Isha she yotzib lo get. You hear this? By Hegdish you find Hegdish could come to an end without anything. What kind of Hegdish? Tushas dummy. Right? You consecrate something for its value, after 30 days it's off. So we find by Hegdish there's such a thing as putting limitation. But by marriage there's no such thing. Hegdish hegdish yotzib lo pidyon tipose divrakol b'stei mikna alma da afil leman diyoma kedushas haguf poka b'chdi b'isha moda v'mistavrim yachtem akshin leil b'soma kol kach b'pshitus ilo omer liisha da alma bo lechman b'polit. It's the Rashi. It's clear. Abaye does not disagree that if man marries a woman for today, it's his wife tomorrow, because there's no such thing as a wife for a day. Okay?
So if we're talking relevance, the wife
Garlic.
has, the woman has no relevance to the basic English, yet the korban has relevance.
No, it has nothing with basic English.
Well, when you're saying this is like a korban, so we're saying that what are you gonna do? It has, when you make something hegdish, it basically you're gonna give the money to the
To purchase a korban.
right to the basically.
Not to basically, to purchase a korban. That's
Well,
called Kedusha's Dummy. To bring a sacrifice.
To where? To the
But the basic English is not the issue. The issue is korban. Korban is hegdish. It's consecrated.
So I was just saying that it had no relevance. We're talking about something that has no relevance, and the wife has no relevance to the korban. You don't go there.
No. You don't understand what he's saying.
Okay.
Every Rava says, if I consecrate something for 30 days,
Right.
and it's Kedusha's Dummy, what happens after 30 days?
Right.
It's off.
Right.
Nobody, but if it's Kedusha's Aguf, it sticks.
Stays on.
So, and that's how we differentiated between marrying a woman. Marrying a woman is
The
Kedusha's
korban,
Aguf.
right.
Okay, good. Not that she's the korban.
No.
It's Kedusha's Aguf. It's
Yeah.
inherently,
Yes.
it is what it is.
Right.
But Abai, because otherwise we have a problem with Kedushin. Abai says, you mean to differentiate? Even by Kedusha's Aguf you could say it.
Right.
So Ran asks, you mean to say,
You can
Abai is arguing with a woman, you can marry her for a day, and tomorrow she's not married.
Right.
So on that, the Rajba answers no. Kedushin, everybody agrees, you marry a woman even for a day, she's married forever. Unless you terminate with a get. But by Hegdish we find, within Hegdish, no. Within Hegdish, you could set limits. So since within Hegdish you could set limits, we don't differentiate what is Kedusha's Aguf and Kedusha's Dummy.
Okay.
To purchase another animal. No. Once you, no. You consecrate an animal for its use. Let's say I consecrate an animal to be used to purchase an animal, but it's only consecrated for 30 days. What happens after 30 days passes? There's no redemption to purchase, because the Kedusha has relevance to facilitate a korban. After 30 days, it reverts back to an ordinary status, right? Right? By Kedusha Aguf, Rava says, once you consecrate it, that consecration attaches itself, it cannot be revoked.
The same animal can be so consecrated.
It depends how you consecrate it. Is it a means or an end unto itself? Rava says if it's an end, once it sticks, it doesn't come off. If it's to facilitate something else, you could put time limits on it. Abai disagrees. So what about marriage? Marriage, everybody agrees, you can't put time limits on it. You're my wife today, you're my wife tomorrow, even though you said today, because there's no such thing as a wife for a day. But by Hegdish, since I find there is such a thing, a Hegdish, which is only for a period of time, therefore Abai doesn't differentiate between whether it's an end unto itself or it's to facilitate. That's how Abai differentiates between Hegdish and marriage. Okay? So Rabbi answers, he quotes a brisa, Godavi Balmum. Yeah? Now he says something interesting. There's a halacha, the Gemara says in a number of places, in Kochim, if a person consecrates an unblemished animal to be used as an ola, meaning to purchase an ola.
Mm-hmm.
What's the halacha? It's called Magdish Tmimim. He says this animal which is unblemished,
Perfect.
it should be used to purchase an ola. What is it? Could I redeem it? Can't redeem it. It itself
That's
becomes the
Hegdish.
ola. No. But he only consecrated to facilitate an ola.
Right.
If I consecrate this table to purchase an ola, what kedusha does this animal have? Not bedek habayis. It can't be used to refurbish the Beis Hamikdash. The money, when I redeem the table, the money has to be used to purchase the
Something,
korban.
right.
No, not something. The korban,
Right.
right? That's the kedushas. That's kedushas bedek habayis or kedushas domi. If I say this animal, this chair should be consecrated for the sake of purchasing a shlomim and ola, what quality of kedusha does the chair have or the table? It has kedusha's ola, kedusha shlomim, because that's how I consecrated it for, right?
Okay.
Now,
What's the monetary value?
it's the monetary value of the table or the chair to purchase the animal.
Right.
Right. 1 second. A table cannot be an ola. A chair cannot be an ola.
Right.
So therefore, because it cannot be, what's its purpose? To facilitate the purchase. What about I consecrate an animal when it itself is fit to be the Ola? And I say I'm consecrating it to facilitate an Ola. Yeah? But if itself qualifies to be an Ola, it becomes an Ola. Because if the whole rationale is its value is to purchase, so if it itself qualifies, it becomes. Even though he says value, we don't have to go elsewhere because it itself meets the standard, the criteria of what an Ola is, because it's unblemished. Yeah, so that's what the so here we have a case in the Brisa. Person says the first 30 days it should be an Ola, the second 30 days it will be a Shlomim. So that's the Ran saying. Oh, we're speaking about an animal that's blemished or an unblemished animal. If it's unblemished, then it's Kedushas Aguf automatically. So the Ran learns the case is speaking where it's a Balmum. It's an animal that's blemished, and so when you consecrate the animal which is blemished as an Ola, what does that mean? That's Kedushas Ola. Because it itself, it's like the table. It itself cannot be brought, so it's to facilitate. The Sefer that we speak about, Ola Shlomim, it's unblemished. So if it's unblemished, regardless of what you say, that's called Kedushas Aguf. Let's read the Ran inside. This is the real thing over here. Going to Habi Balmum. Yeah, Rabbi says, we're speaking on, he says, Ola, 30 days, and then Shlomim, we're speaking of the animal is a Balmum. Why? The Ilu Tam, because the animal is consecrated as Ola, even if he says for its value, right? Afilam L'Demei, Kodesh Kedushas Aguf, it automatically it's Kedushas Aguf. Why? The Kaimalon Hamatvis Tmin Leberek Abayis, Midim Mizbech Lo Yotzo. Even if you consecrate an animal unblemishes, this should be for Berek Abayis, it has Kedushas Haguf. Because an animal itself has relevance to a korban. Okay? Vov. Yeah. V'imkein v'iko mandiyoma dai piruka solek l'rovo the svirle Kedushas Domim polka bichti. Right? So the way Rav is learning the Brisa was about Kedushas Domim. It's very good. Avo bapodo. Akati lo necho. Barpoda has a problem with this because Barpoda says Barpoda doesn't differentiate between kedushas. The case of the Mishnah speaking about that's kedushas damim. He consecrates the trees until they're cut down. Yet after they're cut down, Barpoda says you still have to redeem it. So you see, even kedushas damim, you can't put a limitation on it. Doli today I feel kedushas damim nami lo poka birdi. You see. V'ikam yoma afilu barpoda necho. You this even barpoda wouldn't be difficult. Now you understand. Kevon the magdish. Kevon the b'magdish. L'dmei askira mukila barpoda kshepodo u'mishmochi chaylei lacha lamed yom kedusha shlomim. You know what happened? Person consecrates it for 30 days. For 30 days, and then before the 30-day comes, he redeems it. Yeah. He says it should be Kodesh for 30 days. Now he redeems it.
Before 30 days.
Before 30 days. Now day 31 comes. What happens? It becomes an Ola. It's because he redeemed it.
Right.
But in truth, if he wouldn't have redeemed it, it would keep going.
Right, yeah.
It would keep going. And until he removes it, the Ola cannot take effect. Yeah. Chite mihochi pshito. He says, according to reconcile Barpoda, so what's the Chiddush? Here? He says it should be Ola 30 days, about Mum, then he redeems it before 30 days comes. You know, Shlomim takes effect. Why shouldn't it take effect? If I have a Balmum, I consecrate it to be an Ola. You got it? Then I redeem it. This animal should be used to purchase an Ola, and then I redeem it. Then I say it should be used to purchase a Shlomim. Okay. Is it a Chiddush? What's the Chiddush? When you said it should be a Shlomim, you already redeemed it. It's post-redemption. Right. So what's the Chiddush? So if the Brisa is speaking, we redeemed it according to Barpoda before 30 days, you're not teaching me rocket science over here. It's understood. Of course you could consecrate it. You're consecrating a behemoth chulin. It's an ordinary animal. That's the Ran's question. Okay? In K, yeah, he says, Yochib Shita. Nira li togadat came shabishosha ma'achalam et yom lohoy roy lochol the kedusha solo pokbi three came shke nemo da fil ach shapod the kedusha solo techol kedusha shlomim kamash the kedusha shlomim mitla talya ve kaima ki mishkach sarap chaylis in gewaldig. We had earlier, just to bring out the point. If a person say you hold a naziris chalad naziros, you say one naziris cannot be. First say hareini noz hareini nazir. If you're of the opinion, the second naziris it doesn't take effect. Because you already say I'm a Nazir. So the second time you say Hareini Nazir, what's the halacha? Can't take effect. What happens? He goes now. He's shol on the first Nazirus. He goes before a panel, and they nullify the first Nazirus. What happens? The second Nazirus comes, right? Because it's as if you never said the first. Why does the second one take effect? Because when you said, because when you said the second, why did it have no meaning? Because the first one was there. But if we say when you matir neder, it's retroactive. Right. It's as if when I said it, it had value. That's why it could take effect. If I say this should be an olah for 30 days, and I said after 30 days it'd be shlomim. So the way it stands now, if I wouldn't redeem it, what happens? It's forever. It's an olah beyond 30 days. So I would think if you say it should be a shlomim after 30 days, the second statement is meaningless.
Because the first one's still in effect.
Because if I don't redeem it, it's a shlom beyond 30. It's an olah beyond 30 days. Okay, wait. But this is a tremendous chiddush. Before, with Hareini Nazir, when you nullify it, it's as if you never made the first statement. When you poda something, it was kaddish until you redeemed it.
Good.
So if that's the case, I would say the shlomim should not take effect. You got it? I say something should be olah for 30 days. According to Barpada, what does that mean?
Okay,
it means as long as the animal is alive, this animal's an olah. Because
Kedusha's
kedushas damim keep going beyond the 30 days.
Right.
So I say it should be an olah for 30 days. What does olah 30 days mean? Forever.
Right.
So if it's forever, and then I say it should be a shlomim after 30 days. What's the value?
Nothing.
Should be nothing.
Right.
So let me ask you a question now. Now he goes and redeems it before 30 days. Why should the shlom take effect?
Because you've just nullified the olah.
No, but it's different. No, you didn't nullify it. You didn't nullify it.
You said you redeemed it. Is that
Redeem is not nullification. That's revocation.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Okay, so you
I differentiate between Nazir is retroactively you were never the Nazir the first statement.
Okay.
So therefore, over there it makes sense why the second thing is chal. Because as if you never said the first statement.
Mm-hmm.
Here, everybody agrees until you redeem it, it's an olah. And what was the nature of that olah? Forever.
Right.
So the second statement, you would say, has no value. The chiddush of the Bryce is, despite that, it does have value. It's tremendous chiddush. You have to understand it. Let's say a man goes, and it says to a woman, she's a married woman, I am marrying you in 30 days from now. And she's a married woman. And the husband chooses to give her a get 15 days before that 30 days come. She's going to be married. You married a married woman.
Right.
When you said she married 30 days, that means she was married forever. So you mean to say you're going to tell me she's married? He's married to the woman? That's exactly what we're saying now. Kedusha lo palka bichdi. If when I said it should be an olah for 30 days, it's like I said it should be an olah forever. So in fact, truthfully, even if you redeem it, why should the shlomim take effect after 30 days? It's like a man's married to a woman, and another man comes, I want to marry you after 30 days. The man didn't divorce his wife. Before 30 days comes, the man chooses to divorce his wife. You can tell me the second man's marriage is a marriage? You married at a time she was married beyond 30 days. He chose to terminate the marriage. Is that right? I mean, so how do you say what we're saying over here? Because according to Bar Poda, he's equating marriage to Kedusha's Dam, the same thing. Tzarech Chiyun.
Has to be an interruption or something. Something has to make a hefset out of it in order for it to work.
I think the difference is this. This has to do with the Gemara and Kedusha. The Gemara says that something that's biyodo, we say normally eno the maknedok shlabalolam. Right? You can't affect something which hasn't come about yet. So something's not available. The Gemara says, if a man says to his wife, after I divorce you, I want to remarry you, and he gives it a ring now for afterwards. So the Gemara says it's not a valid. The second, it's not a valid marriage. Why? Because it's up to her whether she wants to be married after she's divorced. It takes two to tango, right? But let's say a person says something where he has full control continuously. That's called biyodo. Then he can affect something afterwards. So if a man goes to somebody else's wife and says, I'm marrying you after 30 days. After 30 days. And the man didn't divorce his wife. And the man divorces her before 30 days. When you gave her the ring, you have no control over that situation.
Right.
Because the man had to divorce his wife.
Right.
Here, the one who consecrated,
Oh,
he has the ability
control.
continuously to redeem it.
Right.
Therefore, it takes effect after 30 days. So it's biyado. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying now? This is emislami. It's definitely the pshat. Okay?
I just have a simple question. Consecrates it for 30 days and everlasting should be shown for 15 days before and redeems it. Does it become a shlom?
At 30 days, it'll become a shlomin now. 30 days, it will become a
If he
shlomin.
redeemed it, it doesn't change the character.
If he doesn't redeem it, it stays an ola, according to parpoda.
It doesn't redeem it at all, so it doesn't change it.
Doesn't, no, because parpoda is, parpoda says once kedusha attaches itself, even though it's only to facilitate, in terms of its monitoring, it sticks. So if I don't redeem it, it's there after 30 days. Shlomi can't take effect because the ola is still there. It's only if he redeems it. So now, if you redeem it, what kind of animals? It's chulin. It's chulin, so a chulin could be a shlomim. That's exactly the reason why.
These are two different points of view.
This is Barpoda's point of view. Rava says, no. Rava says that Kedusha's Damim can be revoked. There's a Kedusha's Aguf. Rava wants to differentiate Kedusha's Damim. Marriage is called Kedusha's Aguf. Her essence is married. When you consecrate an animal as a korban, its essence is korban. But if it's a balmum, when you consecrate, what is it? It's only to facilitate the purchase of a korban. So it's a weaker kedusha. Because it's a weaker kind of kedusha, it's a kedusha which you could remove. Therefore, you could set limits to what degree and to what not degree.
Let's go over the yado one more time, please. Yado means
You
full
always have
control.
you have full control over the situation.
So the Baal has control.
Over here, the consecrate has control.
Right. So the Baal has control.
Therefore, he could
marriage.
affect. No.
How does
The
it?
third party, when he wants to marry the other man's wife in 30 days,
It's a third party.
and he chooses to divorce her before 30 days, right? The third party, this is not biyado, because you could only marry her if the husband divorces his wife.
Go back just a second. Forget the third party for 1 second. So the Baal has the control in making kedushin. Is that correct?
Let's talk about the husband himself. A man says to his wife,
All right.
she's his wife now, I'm marrying you now for after I divorce you.
Now he has the power to do the get. So he has the.
The Gemara still, it's not a marriage.
Is that beyond?
Wait. No. He has the ability to give a get. He has the ability to give a get. It is creases. No, the relationship now is terminated. Not forever. No, that's not temporary. That's not temporary.
You may not be able to marry.
It means whatever the relationship, that relationship is terminated.
Severed.
If I want to marry you again, I have a right to marry. Let's say a man says, we intend to remarry after we're divorced. What you tell me to get is a question we'll get. Of course, to get's a good get. Because it's up to both of them if they want to remarry or not marry. So that's what it says. Even though he gave her the ring now, and she agreed to accept it,
Right. She's married.
so he's marrying her.
Right.
The marriage is meaningless.
Because she is married.
No, because she herself could tell him, I'm not interested. He has control. But to get remarried, he's not in full control.
Right.
She has to be agreeable.
Right. Good.
And at that moment, she may not be agreeable.
So that it's not the outdoor.
Said it's not beyond of the husband, therefore it's not a marriage.
Good. Okay.
In our case here, he consecrates the animal, it's a balmum, for 30 days.
Right.
After 30 days, it should be a shlomim.
Good.
See, as he said, speaking where he redeemed it before 30 days.
Right. Okay.
If he redeemed it before 30 days,
Becomes cooling, and now it becomes a
so I asked the question, is Davar Shlomo Olam? The answer is because it's biyado here.
Right.
Because the one who consecrated originally, he could always redeem it.
Good.
That's the reason why the consecration that he said at that time is effective.
Good. Beyond.
Because that's not called Davar Shlomo Olam.
Good. Okay.
Okay. 2 seconds, my daughter's calling me.
This is great stuff. Gotta come back to you. This is
So the Gemara says, Ihochi, Bishlam Chadam Kedushas Aguf, Chad Kedushas Domim. So we have two cases. The first case is speak Kedushas Domim. The second case is speak Kedushas Aguf. That's why he had inverted. He said it should first be Shlomim after 30 days, and it should be an Ola now. So because the first 30 days, excuse me, my daughter's calling. Hello? The Tana Sefer L'Gluya ratio. The Tana, in the conclusion, is coming to reveal the first case. Shlo Toma Davka Kedushas Domim Poka B'Chdig. Kedushas Domim Lo Poka. Kedushas Aguf Lo Poka. Lochtani Tad Lashmin Lafil Kedushas Aguf Poka. The El Didoch Sfir Kedushas Aguf Lo Poka. Looks like Kedushas Domim Tati normally. Yeah, this. What he's saying to him, the way Abai is asking the question, he's not focusing on the order. See, the safe it seems to be. He said first the latter, then he said the first, but he's not making that differentiation. If you're of the opinion Kedush L'Poka B'Chdi, so if that's the case, what are the cases? We have two cases that does work. So if you hold like I hold that we don't make any differentiation, Kedush Aguf, Kedushas Domim, so that's the Chiddush. Not only Kedushas Domim, even Kedush Aguf, but according to you, Rava, that when you consecrate something where its essence is a korban, it cannot be revoked. So that means the closing case is Kedushas Domim. V'tosef Rabba, Devar Shemir Hoda V'Kedushas Aguf Poka V'Chdi Hilkach L'Rabba L'Havi Le'Ladurei L'Rabba Nuna Ma'ikav Naz Kedushas Aguf Kedushas Domim Kedushas L'Poka V'Kedushas Aguf Elohochi Havalei L'Meimar Domi Isha L'Hegdish Mute Ein Ishas L'Chatzog V'Shagav Hegdish Isha L'Zman Yudav Kedushas Aguf Poka V'Chdi Hilkach Pircha D'Rabba Nuna Dav Reisim Say L'Ula came the Reisim Zebukach Dafilu Zaguf Poka V'Chdi Koshkim Kedushas Domim Shemochi Oman Leimet Yav T'Yufte D'Rapoda the Bapodoma Lo Poka Kedusha B'Chdi Klomar came the Koch Braisa Kedusha Agufi Tish the Barpod Lo Motzi Lo Shapoda Kedusha Aguf Ein Lo Per Aval Iya B'Motzi Lo Tavi Kedusha Domim Doch Equal Mem that Queen Pigeon. Okay. So 1 second. Omra Papa. So Rapapa says, getting back. I mean, it's a weak question. You see, Abayi, when he's asking the question of Rava, he's ignoring the order. The second case of the Brisa is speaking. He said it should be a shlum after 30 days. It should be an ola now. I mean, if we're holding the kedusha pakib, that even by kedusha aguf, when you consecrate a korban, you could set time limits. So why do you have to invert the case? Say it's the same case. It should be an ola for 30 days, and after 30 days, it should be a shlumim. Right? But that's not the way the case is stated, and that's really where a pub answers. That the question doesn't begin. You're right. If he would say it should be an ola for 30 days and the shlum after 30 days, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. However, because he first said it should be an ola, a shlum after 30 days, so the first 30 days are unoccupied. Therefore, you could consecrate initially as a shlumim, as an ola. Omra Papa, just Omalach Bar Poda, Hochi Kome. In Lo Ome Miachshav Shlomim, Lach Lamed Yom, Ola, Havimid, Dahavi, Omer, Liishas Kachi, Li Lach Lamed Yom, the Gudeshes, Apish Nesach Lamos, Pshita, Lo Tzricha, Doda, Bay. We'll stop here.